What's up, everybody, and welcome to my very first Epic 7 video. Now, a little backstory about me and Epic 7. I've been playing the game since early January, and I've been hooked ever since. Like, this game is so good. I can't stop playing it. But anyways, my very first video, I wanted to show my thoughts and on Dizzy, the limited banner that's going on right now. So I wanted to show you guys how I build her and where I use her. Let me tell you first off, guys, do not pass up on this banner. She's so good. Like, this hero is just amazing. You can use her anywhere. You can use her in Abyss. You can use her in Raid, Adventure. You can use her in PvP. You can use her in Wyvern, or sorry, not Wyvern, Hunts. Anywhere you want to use her, put Dizzy in your team, and she will do amazing things for you. But let me show you how I built mine. First off, I have her on a speed immunity set. Now, the reason I have her on immunities on an immunity set is because her speed is not as fast as other Dizzies that I've seen. I've seen Dizzies go up to like 230, 240 speed, and just I don't have my Dizzy that built that fast, and I don't have her built that fast for a reason, and I will get into that later on. But my Dizzy is on the speed immunity set, like I said. Now, as far as her jewelry, I have her on a health percent necklace, and I have her on a attack percent ring. Now, the reason I built her like that is because I want more survivability. If I have a slow Dizzy, I don't want her to die from a cleave team or whatnot. Now, and the reason I have attack is because I also want her to do some attack, to actually deal some damage. Now, I know some people building her attack, crit rate, crit damage builds, but as much attack as possible. But I don't build her that way because I don't really. To be honest, I don't really see the point of having a crit build on Dizzy because her dirt skill misses anyways. So you're not going to get a crit rate from that, which is her highest damaging skill. Now, granted, it still does a decent amount of damage even if you don't even if it doesn't crit. But it's just not the way I like building my Dizzy. As far as her skills, let's take a look at them real quick. Her first skill has a 25% chance each to stun for one turn. So any of the enemies that she hits, she's going to have a 25% chance to stun it. Her second skill, also an AoE, it extends any debuffs that the enemies have, and also reduces their combat readiness by 50%. And her third skill, which is probably the best skill in the game, I think, in my opinion, it inflicts 3 debuffs. It inflicts decreased speed, decreased attack, and decreased hit chance, which is amazing for a support mage, or the support mage that I run, like the way I run her. As far as like in PvP, this skill alone, if you burn it, you get an extra turn, which can be then combined with Gamma Ray to extend all those debuffs that she just put to 3 turns instead of 2 turns, also reducing their combat readiness. So her skill set is just so good. Now, as far as the artifact that I have her on is Layla Violin, and the reason I have her on Layla Violin, it's more for PvE usage or purposes, because I run into a lot of teams that have immunity. So if I have her on Layla Violin and she goes and they're on immunity set, and I use her skill 1, she'll have a 80% chance to remove that immunity. And the way I have her paired up is with my Araminta up here. But we'll get more into that in PvP. Now, as far as where you can use Dizzy, if you're going to be using her in hunts, there's 2 hunts that I recommend. The first one will be Wyvern. I mean, Wyvern, she's okay. She's not the greatest, but she is an ice type, which is a counter to Wyvern because he's fire. Her skill set is not ideal for her for Wyvern because you don't have a defense break. And there's 2 debuffs that she won't be able to land because this first of all, the Wyvern is immune to combat readiness decrease. So her second skill, you won't be able to really do anything with it, except for extend the debuffs. Like if you extend my Tywin, for instance, or Karen, it puts a defense break, she will extend that up by 1. But her third skill, you won't be able to reduce his speed because he's immune to that as well. But you can reduce his attack and his hit chance. And obviously that works really good if your tank is not too beefy and he usually dies real quick. She'll help mitigate a lot of that damage with a missed attack or missed chance and attack break that she'll land on the Wyvern. But other than that, she doesn't really bring anything else. I mean, mine isn't built DPS, so I'm not really gonna, not really a speed team or anything. And the only reason I'm using her here is because I'm trying to level up her friendship. I wanted to get her up to plus 10 while I hunt stage, or while I do Wyvern hunt stage 11. But other than that, once I'm finished leveling up her friendship, I'm gonna put Luna back in here, and that'll be that. The other hunt that I do recommend putting her on that you can is Banshee. In Banshee, she can reduce speed and she can reduce combat readiness along with attack break and miss chance, or hit miss. Yeah, hit miss chance, something like that. But anyways, she does do really good here, because if you're landing decreased hit chance on the Banshee, that's gonna enable her to not put poison as much as, or as often as she does on your units. And then if you've been in Banshee, you know that if she puts the poison and then she attacks that poison target, she'll do a giant AoE, and it'll be a giant nuke pretty much, and usually wipes a lot of teams. But with her and this team, not only will she reduce the speed, she'll reduce the hit chance, and she'll reduce the attack of the Banshee. So she works really, really well in Banshee. Another one that you kind of can use her in. I mean, you obviously can't use her in Golem because she's an Earth type, and it's not really ideal. But a lot of people say you can use her in A11. I don't really recommend it, because if you're gonna use her in A11, you're gonna have to turn off her skills. So because you can't land more than 3 debuffs on the boss, which is what she does. Or you can't land more than 3 or more on the boss, which is what she does on her 3rd skill. So as soon as she does her 3rd skill and she manages to land all 3 debuffs, the boss is gonna cleanse all of that on their next turn and do, there's no point in letting him cleanse all that, because if you have a defense break and she applies all those debuffs, then he's just gonna cleanse that off, and your runs are gonna last a lot longer. But I mean, if you have to, or if you really, really want to, I guess you can use her on A11, but it's not recommended. Or not, I don't recommend it. In Abyss, guys, let me tell you, Dizzy is Abyss queen. Like, if you're stuck on the floor and you pull Dizzy, you're no longer stuck, because that's how good Dizzy is. She is so good in Abyss. I'm floor 90 right now. I'm waiting for tomorrow's update to come out so I can get sold to 60 and then use him in this stage, because I'm having a little trouble with it right now. But as far as like the other floors, I was able to clear. I was stuck on 86 for the longest. As soon as I pulled Dizzy, like I said, I was no longer stuck. 86, 87, 88, 89. I've used Dizzy in all 4 of these, and I actually have a screenshot that I can show you guys. Here's 86 with me clearing 86, which is the Ken stage. Did 87, and I did 88, and I did 89 today. So as you can see, I used Dizzy in all those stages. She is just too good in Abyss. So definitely recommend you using her in Abyss if you're stuck on a stage. Now in Raids as well, Raids you can also use her. I went to the wrong thing. Labyrinth. Raids is the best. Like, she's so good in Raids too. Any boss that she fights, even if you're fighting Julie V, which I know you're not supposed to put debuffs on him, you can still use your skill 1, and you can still use your skill 2 to reduce his combat readiness. I think you can reduce his combat readiness. I'm pretty sure you can. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry guys, but I'm pretty sure you can. I don't think he's immune to combat readiness. But even if he is, you can still use her 1st skill and her 2nd skill on Julie V if you really want to bring her there. But for any of the other bosses, she's great for Devour Arakan. She's great for Executioner Carcanus. Is kind of iffy, because if you attack him while she has debuffs, because all her attacks are AoE, so you're gonna attack him regardless. But if you attack him while she has any debuffs, it's gonna make him counter you and then deal AoE damage. I think he does AoE damage when he counters. I'm not sure, but I know he's gonna counter for sure. And he's just gonna, that's not ideal. But if you bring someone like Angelica, or someone that has potion and just cleanses everything off of her, then you'll have no problem there. But Secretary Vera, if you can land, since her 3rd skill always misses, and still applies debuffs, it doesn't matter if he's Earth or not. You're still gonna be able to apply attack break, or miss hit chance, and speed debuff. So you're gonna make him slower, and you're gonna make him attack less, and you're gonna make him miss. So either way, she still works in Secretary Vera. I haven't tried her in the Queen fight. I plan on doing it tomorrow. I'm out of tokens right now, but I'm definitely gonna try this tomorrow. And I'm sure I'm pretty sure you can use her there because again, apply these debuffs, make the queen miss, make the queen slower, make the ads miss and make them slower. You know, all the good stuff. So definitely great in raids. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is in PvP. The way I use her, and this is the reason I have her slow, is because I use her paired up with my Araminta. And I mean, obviously, not everyone's gonna have Araminta, but this is the way I use her. You can use Dizzy in a lot of different ways, guys. You don't have to use her in one specific way. She can build different. She can be built around the team that you have. But the way I have mine build is a little bit faster than Araminta, and this is where Layla Violin comes into play because I have run into a lot of immunity teams that have a lot of teams that have immunity. So if I run into one and she goes first, I just use her skill 1, and then she'll have an 80% chance to strip that immunity from all the whole team or whoever has a immunity. Like I've run into a lot of teams that have like the Stina is the only one that has immunity, and she's the fastest one. So as soon as like she goes, or as soon as she goes, she'll cleanse everybody off immunity. But the good thing about Layla Violin, even if you miss, like if you're like her third skill always misses, and she's an earth type, so even if you miss on her second skill or her first skill, it's always gonna proc. It's always gonna have a chance to proc, 80% chance to proc regardless. So you can always strip that immunity off, and then that's where Araminta comes in after her and does her meteor or whatever, and that's my team. That's pretty much my team. And with that team, I was actually able to get last week. I was able to get, where's it at? I was able to get champion 1, which is for me is a milestone. But that was the highest I've gotten so far, and it's really all thanks to Dizzy because how her kid, and if you look into the rankings and everything, a lot of these teams already have Dizzy, and a lot of the teams that I fought while I was up here, because I did manage to get to top 100 last week, but I got knocked down during rush hour. A lot of the Dizzies that are on here also have Layla Violin, because they have teams that consist of like a really really fast Dizzy, and stripping your team of immunity, which is my whole team is set on immunity, and then just going to town with all the other debuffs that they apply or whatever. But that's basically how Arena goes up there, whatever. But yeah, guys, this is how I have my Dizzy built. If you guys need any like help trying to build a Dizzy, or whatever you need, you can always look at mine and see how try to get it one similar to mine and see how you like her. Mine, I built her with a lot of effectiveness because obviously I have her as a support, and I want her to land as many debuffs as she can. And I always want Layla Violin to proc as much as often, because that also goes through an effective check. But I have mine built a lot of effectiveness. I don't have mine built as high as other Dizzies that are like 230, 240 speed. I have mine built around the team that I use. I have her built a little bit tanky with some some good health, so she can survive cleave teams. But like I said, guys, Dizzy's amazing. Get her, build her, and you will not regret it. She will help you through any kind of PvE progression that you need to get through. She would help you in PvP, whatever you want her to do, she will help you in it, pretty much. But anyways, thanks guys for watching the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, or you guys want to talk about Dizzy, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Like the video if you liked it, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time in the next video. Have a good night.